I'm also announcing that as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime. You know what that means? Think of that. Think of that. Think of that. That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people. And, I went to some economists, great ones, and I said, what do you think? They said, it would be unbelievable. You'll get a whole new workforce by doing that. No taxes on overtime. The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. Those are the people that really work. They're police officers, nurses, factory workers, construction workers, truck drivers, and machine operators. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break, and that's what we're doing because this is a good one. And I think it's going to be great for the country. So that's why we will be saying that if you're an overtime worker, when you're past 40 hours a week, think of that. Your overtime hours will be tax-free. Okay, good. You're going to have it too. And unlike Biden, where he tells you that you don't have to pay your school tuition and it gets rejected, then he goes again and again. Now it's totally gone. Or as they say in politics, it's debunked. It's gone. That was terrible. He kept saying to these students, no more loans, no more loans, which was very unfair to the millions of people that actually paid off their loans over the years. Some of them took 20 years to pay them off, but that's a dead deal. That's totally dead. They tried to revive it 2 weeks ago. That didn't work out too well. That's a totally dead deal. But these will be 3 things that will get done. So if you think about no tax on tips, think of that. Think about this and the Social Security for our seniors, because the seniors have been destroyed by inflation. It's unfair. And this is like a whole new life for them because you're talking about a lot of money. So no tax on Social Securities for our great seniors. And this last one is no tax. You work your ass off. No tax on overtime. And that's so good for the employers. One of our economists said, I think that's actually going to bring money into our economy. When I cut taxes, we had the largest tax cut in history. And when I cut taxes with a much lower rate the following year, we took in more money than we ever took in with a much higher rate. The jobs, people work by a lot.
Sudani. Iraq's witnessing a state of recovery, growth, and progress and prosperity. I found that one an interesting highlight as they're talking about the prosperity, the peace, the everything that's happening in Iraq. But then they talk about the folding in the military in the article. And this is an important piece for the U.S. To give their blessings on those changes. They need to make certain those forces are domesticated, meaning now under the Sudanese government, meaning the Iraqi government's in charge of those military forces. And they talk about it, I would say in depth, relatively in depth here. And they talk about just how far they have come. But that seems to be like the basis of this one, which is an important one. We've been told that some of the most important things are what are we doing with those military forces to make certain they're domesticated, and what are we doing about HCL? And these are the things they have been broaching in the news nonstop. So I love that one because Shabibi said, give me safe, stable, and I will give you a new value. I will increase your purchasing power. Iraq enters a new trade era and is approaching the path of development. Here we go. We're working on these ports, floating gas ports, you name it. Here we have the development road. We're talking about all the future potential, the gateway. This one really gets into how they are making the Suez Canal like unnecessary. Huge dollars and money, and they are just all over the report. Also quoted D.R. Brito saying, with reduced transportation times and costs across the country and region, this is a historic moment for global trade and for promoting economic integration with the Middle East. They're telling us what they're doing here, guys. Safe, stable, growth, value. Sudani told us almost 2 years ago that is the goal. The white reform papers, they're going to get it safe, they're going to get stable, they're going to get their currency stable, then they're going to raise the purchasing power of all Iraqis. They're telling you guys. And they got elections coming, which means they're going to need to pull the trigger. Here's another fun one. Baghdad announces that it has seen Trump's message to Khamenei, Fawad Hussein. This is a new channel for dialogue. They are particularly upbeat about the potential to sit down and have great talks, that they are coming to agreements. They are ready to sit down and have talks, negotiations about the future directions of Iranian-American relations and the Middle East. It's getting fun to watch this roll out, guys. Getting fun to watch it roll out. Diane, I am a little bit giddy tonight. I am still continuing to get a lot of news from different groups that are moving people and getting them in place. There is a concerted effort to squash leaks so that it doesn't betray any timing. I will respect that, at least for now, for certain. As long as I continue to see progress, I won't squeal too much. Many of you guys out there, I'm certain it's all over the boards with people talking and their expectations. I don't know the timing. I do know from the movement of people that it appears to be very close. I do know they continue to move some bond people. Still looking for a couple of key people on the bond side that I'm waiting for to move, meaning bond holders, larger bond holders. I'm waiting for them to get spendable dollars, not somewhere in between, not a flipper. I've got a couple of like friends in real life. That's what I'm waiting for, because when I know they've got money, I don't have to go, somebody I was introduced to, somebody I shook a hand with. No, I want to be able to say these people that I've known for years have many dollars. And I think that could be happening at any moment. I've got a couple of them with meetings late this week where they expect to be fully funded. Now we'll see if they get it or not. Now there's actually a lot of tangible news. If you follow the Iraq and the articles, and it gets even more fun with Trump just breaking it down. President Trump orders immediate declassification FBI's crossfire hurricane files. When it comes to disclosure front, buckle up, kids. You're going to get more of that.
Source: Zoom News. The Iraqi Council of Ministers has declared a week-long public holiday next week in celebration of Eid Al-Fitr PM office, March 25th, 2025, 3:24 p.m. Are they not still in Ramadan until the 31st? Well, I hope they have the budget tables by the end of the month. Well, I just asked a question to Grok. Has the budget tables been submitted to the Iraqi Parliament? Grok responds, as of the latest available information, the 2025 budget tables have not been officially confirmed as submitted to the Iraqi Parliament. However, there are strong indications that the process is nearing completion. On March 11, 2025, Mudir Mohammed Salah, the financial and economic advisor to the Iraqi Prime Minister, stated that the Ministry of Finance would submit the 2025 budget tables to the Council of Ministers for discussion and approval before forwarding them to Parliament, with an expectation that this would occur before the end of March 2025. Additionally, on March 6, 2025, Iraqi MP Ibtisam al-Hilali indicated that the Ministry of Finance was set to send the budget tables to the Cabinet the following week, with the tables expected to reach Parliament before the end of the month. Given that today is March 27, 2025, and considering the timelines provided, it is likely that the budget tables are either in the final stages of preparation by the Council of Ministers or have been recently submitted to Parliament. However, without a definitive public announcement or official confirmation from Iraqi government sources as of this date, I cannot conclusively state that they have been submitted. For the most current status, checking recent news from reliable sources like Shafaq News or Root would provide the latest updates.
Let's get into the intel tonight and see where we stand. I know that we're getting a lot of good information in the last, I'd say 2 or 3 days especially. And let's talk for a minute about rates on screens. Now, the rates on the bank screens are tied to the Forex, and the rates have been blinking. They started blinking very quickly on Forex and bank screens and redemption center screens too. Now, redemption center screens are not tied to the Forex; they're tied to something that's different. They can be put at whatever rate needs to be there for that particular currency for us and for others too. So we look at this and say, okay, the rates are all blinking very quickly. Now, what about more recently? Like, let's say starting Friday, Saturday, did they slow down? Yes, they slowed down. And when the rates that were blinking get slowed down to its very slowly blinking, pretty soon you're going to have the rates stabilize. The rates will settle in at a given rate, and they'll be there. And that's what we wanted to see. We thought that might happen by Friday. And actually, when it actually occurred was Monday, yesterday, at just a few minutes after 10 o'clock at night. So they settled in. That's good for us. That's very good. That means the rates are there on the redemption center screens, and that's a good thing for us to move forward. As of tonight, I'm hearing very good things about everything moving forward for us. I'm hearing that we should be getting good news. We are looking for a toll-free number, and we're also looking to get emails from Wells Fargo. And I think we're looking very closely at what will happen tomorrow for us. And it could be a Wednesday, Thursday type thing, or we might actually end up getting notified on Wednesday and get started Wednesday. But we don't know that absolutely. And we may end up, on Charlie Ward's Thursday for all we know. But realistically, everything is moving forward. It's in the situation now where, from what I understand, this has moved through the various chambers, and I'm sure the Department of Defense, for example, is looking at this from a security point of view, making sure everything is all set, all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted before they get the green light, and Treasury gets the green light to release those emails from Wells Fargo to all the currency holders that we know of here in, let's just call it North America for sure, the U.S. and probably Canada. But all that is being positioned for release. And I think that that's going to be very much welcome for all of us to receive that and to know that we can move forward with our exchanges, with the redemption of Zim, and go forward with pretty much a shotgun start with Tier 3 and Tier 4. Tier 3 being the bondholders, and they may get their access to funds pretty much with an email that tells them they have access, and then we should be getting our notifications telling us that we can set our appointments and begin setting appointments for the redemption centers and going in for our exchanges. So I think to the extent that the shotgun start is those two things, the bondholders getting access to their liquidity in their accounts and us getting access to the toll-free numbers to set our appointments for our exchanges. Seem to be that's pretty much the term shotgun start would apply in that sense. Other than that, it looks like everything is moving in the direction we want it to be in. I think today being Tuesday, it's hard to say for sure, but maybe Thursday we have these numbers and we have our appointments set, and hopefully we can do a celebration call on Thursday. And if that is the case, then it might not be a long call. It could be a 20 to 30 minute celebration call. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the potential that we have to move forward with this and help level the playing field around the globe and, help give back to humanity for everything that God's given us. So we look at this blessing as an opportunity to help in Rebuild America, which, is my number one project, Rebuild America. Number two, Rebuild International. We were talking about starting with the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic and Haiti and working in those three areas to start with. And then, of course, we'll take it from there beyond that. But to work with Rebuild America, and, we want to help, if we can, in Florida for the damage that was done down there with the hurricanes recently and Helene, and also North Carolina has seen far too much trauma. And all the other states were affected, from the Sevier County area where Dolly grew up in Tennessee. I've been to Dollywood twice and really enjoyed it. I managed to meet Dolly Parton up in Chicago once when I was up there for a conference, and I met her at the Brown Derby restaurant in the Omni Hotel. So I'd love to refresh that friendship, and I'd love to see us with the projects that we have, working with at least 5,000 of you on the big call throughout the country to rebuild America. You say, why 5,000? Because we intend to have, we have 50 states right now, let's say, and I figured on 100 towns, communities, cities in each state as an average, that would be 5,000 total. And that way we'd have the ability to work with our listeners on the big call through Big Call Universe and actually have some regional get-togethers and plan to work on these projects to rebuild these towns, inner city, and communities throughout the country. And I know that we're not going to be set up to do infrastructure per se. That's something NESARA is going to be over, just like internationally, JASARA is going to take that in South America and Latin America and Africa and other parts of the world. But we'll concentrate on homes, rebuilding homes that are in need of it. I want to see community gardens in these rebuild America cities and towns. I want to see that. I want to see a kind of an amphitheater type setting for music and plays and that kind of thing, to be maybe an outdoor venue in some cases, have that set up like an amphitheater. And then also I want to see us doing something with the arts, because remember, arts and music were pretty much dropped out of the school system, as well as recess, PE, physical education, that kind of stuff went away for some reason when we used to really enjoy it when I was growing up. But I think what we should try to reintroduce is the arts. And we'll probably get some kind of plan that would incorporate not only rebuild, not only healing centers, and I'm going to be working very closely with Bob on that, but also community gardens. And I told you guys, if we work as closely with the inner city as I'd like to, we'll probably try to work with the inner city churches, the AME churches, and so on, to help us supervise and manage those gardens in the inner city. And we want to get food to the people. We want to make healthy food for the people. And I know that we have plans to do that. But I'd also love to reintroduce arts and music in these venues. And we'll find a way to do that. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot to do, but I think we can have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm excited about it, as you guys know. So really, as far as that goes, I'm excited about where we are. I think we're extremely close to the release of everything. And at least from what I'm hearing, things are really moving forward. And we should get this, I would think, pretty soon, within the next couple of days is what I'm hearing. So we'll see.
Purged from redemption. The system has already begun the cleansing. Attention, community. An explosive piece of news has just shaken the entire redemption process. The first members have been officially suspended, and there will be no second chances. The quantum system has detected behaviors, energies, and actions that completely disqualify them. This confirms what many ignored. This process is not for everyone. Only those who act with integrity, purity, and genuine purpose will be able to advance. Any mistake, any hidden intention, can permanently leave you out. Stay until the end, because what we reveal today could be the line that separates your redemption from your elimination from the system. This morning, in a turn of events that few expected but many sensed, the bomb exploded. Some of the first members of the redemption process have been officially suspended. And this is not about simple delays or mismanaged paperwork. They have been eliminated for serious violations of the fundamental principles of the program. According to a statement issued at a conference from Kashmir, these individuals were detected by the quantum system after a silent but meticulous investigation. The reason: inappropriate conduct, a history of harassment, and actions incompatible with the sacred purpose of redemption. For weeks, the system administrators gathered evidence, analyzed behavioral patterns, and even scanned past interactions on social media and public platforms. And when the tolerance threshold was crossed, the technology blocked them without the possibility of appeal. But who were these people? Sources close to the matter claim that some were active holders involved in negotiation tables in countries like Colombia, Brazil, and the United States. People who, from the outside, seemed completely integrated into the process. However, the system detected impure intentions, motivations contaminated by ego, ambition, or even emotional manipulation. And here comes the critical point. The quantum system does not judge like humans do. It does not need witnesses or statements. Its analysis is based on frequencies, energetic coherence, and digital behavioral history. This means that every message, every interaction, every decision made by a participant is recorded and carries real weight in the process. The most severe cases involved allegations of harassment, misuse of influence, and ethical violations. These people have not only been removed from the current process, but, according to reports, they will not be able to participate in any future phase of the program. And how did the community react? Surprisingly, with support. Many participants celebrated the immediate elimination of those involved, understanding that this is not a persecution but a necessary purification, an inevitable step to protect the integrity of the process, the funds, and the higher purpose that Nasara Gesera represents. The message is clear. The process does not forgive hidden darkness. Redemption is not just a right, it is a responsibility. This cleansing marks the beginning of a new stage, more rigorous, more refined, more demanding. And if this surprises you, prepare yourself. Now we will reveal how the quantum system evaluates your energy, your intention, and your soul before authorizing your redemption. Many still believe that this redemption process is simply financial, that it is about submitting documents, attending a bank appointment, and waiting for the deposit. But they are completely mistaken. What is happening is much deeper. It is a spiritual process backed by quantum technology that cannot be manipulated. This system is not based on traditional banks or corruptible human authorities. It is an interdimensional network connected through quantum blockchain, designed to verify every action, every intention, and even every soul's energy frequency. It may sound like science fiction, but it is precisely this technology that has begun to mark the difference between the chosen and the discarded. Here, it does not matter how much money you have, who recommended you, or whether you are part of a table. What matters is the purity of your purpose. This system scans your entire history, your past decisions, your behavior in digital environments, your real intentions behind every action, your spiritual coherence. All of this is translated into an energetic signature, a vibration, a frequency. If you are aligned with the universal principles of justice, service, humility, and love, your vibrational field responds clearly, and the system recognizes you as eligible for redemption. But if within you there is unresolved darkness, selfish desires, or a hidden plan to enrich yourself without contributing, the system itself will block your access automatically. This level of review cannot be falsified. There are no documents that validate it. It is about who you are, not what you present. And this explains why some have been expelled even after years of participation in the process, because it was never just about meeting paper requirements. It was always about elevating your consciousness to a level worthy of handling great resources without destroying yourself or others. One of the developers linked to the system expressed it this way: it is the technology of the soul. Only the pure will pass. The rest will be returned to their lesson. This quantum system also does not operate randomly. It is linked to a set of principles called the Code of Universal Sovereignty Principles, CPSU. These principles are only being distributed to participants who have already completed their initial training in natural law and sovereignty. And here lies another key point. Only those who recognize themselves as sovereign will be considered potential beneficiaries by the system. Sovereignty is not a word. It is an identity. And the system is programmed to ignore those who still live as if they were property of a corporate state. This means that even if you have all your documents ready, if you have not completed your sovereignty training, if you have not recognized yourself internally as free, you will not access the full redemption level. Now we will talk precisely about that, the process of sovereign self-declaration, the role of leaders, and how to build a redemption network based on sovereignty, purpose, and real consciousness. At the core of this redemption process lies a truth that cannot be ignored. There is no real access without sovereignty. It is not just about receiving funds. It is about assuming a completely new identity, that of a free, conscious, and responsible human being. This journey begins with a step that few are willing to take: sovereign self-declaration. It is not a simple procedure or a signed letter. It is an act of deep recognition. I do not belong to any corporate state. I am not the property of any system. For many, this declaration is symbolic. But for true leaders, those known as whales, ambassadors of the new order. This step is the gateway to a completely different life. A life where one no longer obeys out of fear but leads with purpose. Those who have entered this phase received access to the military order, a key document that acts as a safe conduct and legal shield. It allows them to move without restrictions through territories under corporate structures and begin operating as true sovereign agents. But receiving the military order is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of a new responsibility, forming others. Each whale now has the duty to instruct the leaders under their care, guiding them so they too complete their training, understand the Code of Universal Sovereignty Principles, CPSU, and consciously assume their new identity. This sacred training chain ensures that the system remains aligned with its original purpose, restoring human freedom on Earth. The CPSU, a set of over 13 key documents, not only provides legal knowledge but also codes of conduct, ethical principles, and structures of free thought. Each leader who receives it commits to living, teaching, and applying this wisdom with transparency, humility, and determination. And here is the most powerful part. This training process is also a filter. Those who fail to transmit knowledge, those who skip steps, or those who teach with arrogance are detected by the quantum system and automatically discarded. Because the system does not seek quantity, it seeks quality. The redemption process continues, but it does not wait. And now, more than ever, only those who vibrate in truth, justice, and purpose will be part of the new world that is already rising.
Breaking news. Money is already moving. Are you ready, or will you be left behind? Diogenes brothers, the day we longed for is here. The payments in this process are an undeniable reality. With each passing day, more pieces fall into place, more doors open, and more signs confirm that abundance is within our reach. What once seemed like a distant dream is now a tangible fact. This is a day to celebrate, but also to act with intelligence and responsibility. It is our time to prove that we are ready, that we have learned, and that we will know how to manage this blessing with wisdom. It is not just about receiving, but about consolidating a prosperous and structured future. We have been called for something great, to make a difference in our lives and in the lives of those around us. To achieve this, we must organize ourselves with vision and strategy. The arrival of these resources is not just an opportunity, but a commitment to ensuring that our prosperity is long-lasting. We must establish solid business structures that allow us to protect and grow our wealth. This is where financial and business tools come into play to help us manage our resources effectively and sustainably. A business holding company is one of the smartest ways to organize our investments. Through a centralized structure, we can group different companies under the same administration, optimizing resources and reducing operating costs. This way, finances are consolidated and business expansion is facilitated, ensuring that our capital works for us in an efficient and secure manner. The creation of a limited liability company, LLC, is a key strategy to separate our personal assets from our investments. This structure protects our assets, ensuring that any business risk does not affect our financial stability. It is a shield that will allow us to move forward with confidence in our projects without compromising our economic security. The use of a trust allows us to manage and protect our assets strategically. This financial tool gives us the ability to secure the future of our family and our initiatives without exposing our resources to unnecessary risks. A well-structured trust offers peace of mind, stability, and a long-term plan to ensure that our wealth endures for generations. It is not enough to receive. We must make it grow. Diversification is key to financial stability. Investing in real estate, commodities such as gold and silver, technology and innovation will enable us to generate passive income and build a solid future. The key is to allocate our resources with vision and caution, ensuring that every financial decision brings us closer to consolidating our prosperity. The management of large sums of money requires knowledge and planning. Having financial, accounting, and legal advisors will allow us to make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Surrounding ourselves with experts is an essential step in ensuring that our wealth is managed optimally and securely. Brothers, this is the beginning of a new era. The time has come to build firmly, to act wisely, and to materialize the vision entrusted to us. The payments are a reality, and with them comes the responsibility to use these resources strategically. We are called to be stewards of a new prosperity, to transform our reality, and to lay the foundations for a grand future. May this great blessing find us prepared, with a clear mind, a heart full of gratitude, and the determination to make this moment the start of an era of success and abundance. Let us move forward with faith, with purpose, and with the certainty that the best is yet to come.
Ariel posted on X. We are on our way to a new world. Are you ready? The beginning is near. Liberation Day, financial freedom, economic independence, security and stability, American dominance. Camelot is coming. You all have to prepare yourselves. The most important time in history is happening right now. And you will have many stories coming about that explains pivotal moments like this. Your personal testimony will be what gives life to one that generations behind us will not have to go through. And then Majid post, SEC versus Ripple, it's over. Just waiting for SEC Commission to vote on it and judge say it is done. Stuart Elderotti comments, the final crossing of T's and dotting of I's, and what should be my last update on SEC versus Ripple ever. Last week, the SEC agreed to drop its appeal without conditions. Ripple has now agreed to drop its cross appeal. The SEC will keep $50 million of the $125 million fine, already in an interest-bearing escrow in cash, with the balance returned to Ripple. The agency will also ask the court to lift the standard injunction that was imposed earlier at the SEC's request, all subject to commission vote, drafting of final documents, and usual court processes. That's all, folks. Ariel comments, April 2nd is really shaping up to be Liberation Day. BW, there's about 7.5 interest for 5 years, I think, to make up $50 million based on $125 million. SEC should have gotten nothing and instead would have had to pay Ripple for all the wrongdoing. This settlement is strange, don't you think? Since when a victim has to pay a fine. Amelia posted on X at _crypto_Barbie. 1:07 a.m. March 26, 2025. Wow, a new XRP glitch has been recorded. 21,354 per XRP. Do you believe this will happen? XRP has experienced so many price glitches in the past. Look at that. I'll wait patiently for that. Oh, look at it. What does he say?
The market's all about NVIDIA. This is an interesting story, everyone, on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at the, well, that's a different number there because...
Go up. I don't know who needs to see this, but this was posted by Shelby 2.0, Wolverine's admin for the Chosen Ones Telegram. But Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22 says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Walk in peace each day and sleep in peace each night. God is in control.